Pablo Escobar's cocaine hippos might cause the apocalypse. Imagine a world where hippos take over. No, not in a cute, cartoonish way, but in an aggressive, world-ending ecological disaster. These animals are not supposed to be in South America. Yet, thanks to one of the most notorious drug lords in history, they now roam the rivers of Colombia like they own the place. And here's the real kicker: scientists say their population is out of control. We're talking about an invasion of tank-sized, hyper-aggressive, poop-spraying beasts that could permanently alter the ecosystem and maybe even wipe out entire species. How did we get here? And more importantly, is there any way to stop them before it's too late? Let's dive into the bizarre, terrifying, and surprisingly hilarious story of Pablo Escobar's hippo apocalypse. The origin of the hippo invasion. It all starts with Pablo Escobar, the drug kingpin who made billions smuggling cocaine into the United States. But Escobar wasn't just about drugs. He was a man of extravagant tastes, owning private planes, luxury cars, and because why not a personal zoo? In the 1980s, he imported exotic animals from all over the world to his Hacienda Napoles estate in Colombia. Lions, elephants, giraffes, and, of course, 4 hippopotamuses. Just 4, but here's the thing about hippos. They're not just big. They're breeding machines. Hippos don't swim. They just awkwardly bounce along the bottom of rivers like overweight ballerinas. When Escobar was finally taken down in 1993, authorities seized most of his animals. But no one wanted to deal with the hippos. Too big. Too aggressive. Too much of a headache, so they just left them there. Fast forward to today, those 4 hippos? Now there are over 150. And experts predict that number could explode into the thousands within a few decades. The hippo invasion is getting worse. Hippos don't belong in South America. But the thing is, they're thriving. Colombia's warm climate and plentiful rivers make it the perfect hippo paradise. With no natural predators and an endless food supply, they've been multiplying like crazy. And they're not just sticking to Escobar's old estate, they've spread out over hundreds of miles. Hippos sweat an oily, pinkish substance that works as sunscreen. So yeah, they basically use their own SPF. Locals have started calling them river monsters because, well, they weigh over 3,000 pounds. They can run faster than Usain Bolt, and they're responsible for more human deaths in Africa than lions, crocodiles, and sharks combined. Hippos don't just fart. They use their tails to spread their poop like a literal crap tornado. This is how they mark their territory. Classy, scientists are sounding the alarm. These hippos are disrupting ecosystems, wrecking local wildlife, and polluting rivers with their ungodly amounts of poop. And the problem is about to get worse. The hippo apocalypse. Let's talk about why this is actually a huge problem. First, the sheer number of hippos means they're eating everything in sight. They're wiping out local plant life, which is throwing entire food chains out of balance. Second, their massive amounts of waste are changing the chemistry of Colombia's rivers. Scientists have found that hippo poop depletes oxygen levels in the water, which is slowly killing off fish. And third, they're getting more aggressive. Locals have reported hippos charging at boats, attacking farm animals, and even chasing people down roads. A baby hippo is called a calf, but let's be honest, it's just a tiny, chubby, murder potato. If the population keeps growing, we could be looking at a future where hippos dominate Colombia's waterways permanently. So what do you do about a hippo invasion? Colombian authorities have tried everything. Sterilization? Too expensive and complicated. Relocation? No one wants them. Culling? That sparked massive public outrage. People actually protested to save Escobar's hippos. Hippos can hold their breath for 5 minutes underwater. That's longer than most humans can last during an awkward conversation. Right now, the hippo problem is still growing. Scientists are scrambling for solutions, but nobody really knows how to stop them, and if their population keeps exploding, we might just be looking at the first ever South American hippo empire. Hippos can't jump. Which means if you ever need to escape one, stairs are your best friend. What started as Pablo Escobar's ridiculous pet project has turned into an ecological disaster, and at this point, we're on the verge of a full-blown hippo apocalypse. So, what do you think? Should we try to save them? Or is it time to accept that these chunky chaos machines are officially taking over? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the weirdest animal invasion ever, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss what's coming next. Until next time, watch out for the hippos. They're coming.